Hey, welcome back, y'all. I just wanted just to talk. That's all. Nothing more. Just to talk. I was going by. Okay, so yesterday, we went to go eat gas, and I filled my tank up. Oh gosh, when did I fill it up? I filled it up on what's today? I filled it up on Sunday because I knew, maybe Saturday. Saturday I filled it up because I knew that it was going to the gas was going to go up because on Friday gas was I think like 2.95, and I usually go to this normal commercial gas station, and I was like, no, 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 we're not going to the commercial gas stations anymore. No more Amoco, no more BP, no more of that. We're gonna go to the mom and pops. So we have one behind our house, and it's usually the cheapest in town because they have to compete with Mega Saver, Amoco, and BP. And so they're usually about 15 cents cheaper, which is a big deal, right? And so I went and it was 276. And then I got mad because I paid like 280 85 because I had gas points at the other place. And so I filled up there and I'm like, okay, I got my gas. Yay. And so I texted my husband. I said, hey, go get gas behind the house, 276. He goes, bet. So yesterday, Monday, which I told him don't get no gas on Monday because of the, you know, WAR and the Strait of Hormuz being shut. But we all know that's happening, right? So we get there and he's like, yeah, 276. Pull up. And he's like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, okay, what do you want to eat? And he's like, well, we could do a McDonald's order. I'm like, my face started making the movements and everything. And I haven't had that in a really long time. But, there was something new on there. So we put the McDonald's order in. And then I looked up and he looked up and he said 284. So from the time that we got there, took 4 minutes to put a McDonald's order in, gas shot up from 276 to 284. Now, it's Tuesday. Guess how much gas has gone up since yesterday? From 276. Now it's 305. It has gone up 20, was it? So yeah, it over 25 cents. 27 cents. How this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. But we knew it was coming, right? We knew it was coming, so that's why we prepare. Now I was supposed to take my gas cans yesterday, and I slipped. I slipped. Okay, all right. I be slipping sometimes too. Okay, I was supposed to take my gas cans yesterday to go get gas in the gas cans, and I need to go sooner than later because it's not going to get cheaper than it is today. Reasons being, you got the people up in the White House and the Department of War talking about they have no clue what's happening. Is either this guy says this guy says this guy says both. We have no they don't know what's happening in their own space. They're not talking to each other. And if they are talking to each other, you have the old white man talking about he don't know what's going on because he put this dude and Hex Breath in charge of this, that, or the other. why you put Whiskey Leaks in charge of things? And then old man, he just he's acting like it's a TV show. Let's watch war. This got blown up and this got blown up. They got nothing left and blah 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 blah. Well, if that was the case, if this war is over, like he says, then why are we still there? Why are people getting deployed? And why are all of these Middle Eastern countries shutting down their oil reserves? Why they shut them down? If it's all over, and why is it raining red rain up in Iran? If it's all over, why is the it's so hard for me not to say DOD. It really is the DOW. Why the devil? We'll get to the Dow in a second. But it's nothing to laugh about, but daggone it, I can't. You know, when you're past anger and you have to hold up your anger with some humor, because if you're angry all the time, people are going to just look at you as just angry people. We weren't angry before. We were, the American population, before all this BS started happening, we weren't angry people. We were kind, happy people, living our best life, going out on dates and going to the movies and being romantic to our partners and having conversations. I mean, we didn't go out the house much to go hang out with other people because we've been behind a telephone for God knows how long, since COVID. I mean, we just learned how to make friends again after the election. I mean, now we're out making friends at least. It's like we gave up one thing to get another, you know? But, you know, I mean, they don't know what they're doing. The puppets don't know how to puppet. They don't. The puppets don't know how to puppet. At least Pinocchio knew how to dance, you know? I mean, and this whole let them fight thing, I mean, letting them fight isn't working. I mean, we got Nome out. We got the Mullen fella in. I don't know what the MMA fighter gonna do. I'm afraid of what the MMA fighter gonna do. You have Fox News just spilling out so much propaganda. You got racist, you know, Megyn Kelly just talking mad shit on Jasmine Crockett, you know, and anything that comes out of her mouth just sounds racist as all hell. Which makes me just kind of think, there's a reason why black folks now are not dealing with white folks. Because we don't know if we're going to get a Megyn Kelly type person to respond to us. We have no clue who we're dealing with anymore. You have the white evangelicals thinking that Trump's been anointed by, I know I used this name, I didn't mean to, y'all, but sometimes it just spits out. But you got that man, you know, they think that he's anointed by Jesus to bring on the apocalypse. And this is I don't understand. I don't understand that either. I don't understand that, because they didn't read their Bible. They didn't even read the Bible to understand how that was going to work out. Because how is the war of Armageddon going to happen without the rapture? First, Like they didn't skip from step 1 to step 20. You know, you have the I just I just don't understand why they're holding that man up like he's some kind of messiah that only he can save this country. Well, I'm sorry. Last time I checked, in my Bible, that it was Jesus. But I think that they got another. They're talking about another Jesus over there because I don't know the Jesus that they're worshiping, because the Jesus they worship, in fact, they don't even talk about any of the red letters that are in the Bible. They don't. I don't think they've read any of the red letters, because they don't. I've never heard them talk about the red letters in the Bible, but they keep saying that they are they worship Jesus, that Jesus is king, but they don't talk about him in a Jesus way. It's just all confusing to me. I'm just trying to say it's just all confusing to me, and I just need my confusion to be straightened out by somebody here, um, to make me understand what they're saying, because everything I've been taught, as a follower of Jesus, real Jesus, brown Jesus, Middle Eastern Jesus, that Jesus that was an immigrant, because he came from Nazareth. And remember when they said nothing good comes out of Nazareth, but Jesus did, even though he was, yes, he was born in Bethlehem, but he his mother was Nazarene and all. You know what I'm saying, y'all? I just don't get it. And maybe I'm not supposed to get it, because I think that they're working on people who are rather just be spoon fed some religion than doing the work and reading. They think that being saved is saying I'm saved versus being baptized in the name of Jesus, that they don't know the red letters. They didn't read the red letters. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm just confused. I'm confused on so many levels. I'm confused on a cultural level. I'm confused on a spiritual level. I'm confused on a real level. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm confused that why the Dow, as in the stock market, is up when that man done got on the TV and said that the war was coming to an end. So he did a signal for the market to go up, although things are still in the toilet. I still don't understand why we can't afford shit, why prices are still high, um, utilities are through the roof. I don't understand why rents. I don't rent. Praise Jesus. I don't have to do that. But for those who do, Lord, I have no clue how you're doing it. I have no clue how people are buying their first homes and being able to have it paid off to enjoy it before they die. Don't get it. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand how the family farm is still functioning, although so many have bankrupted out, at least in the where I live. And I don't know how the meat industry um, is surviving, when their herds are thinning. I don't understand. I don't understand how things are not looking up for us, although they say that they are. I'm being sarcastic. You all know I am. I'm being facetious. But in reality, I just need someone. I'm being extremely, extremely real. I'm being for real. I need someone who can talk to me in a non condescending way of why they believe the way they believe and have a fact to back it up. That's not propaganda. And why their belief is not steeped in racism. And why they believe that our forefathers envisioned this country their way and not the way that they said they envisioned it. And I just need to understand that. I need to understand why they're still behind a man who said no more foreign endless wars. And 2 months out of the gate, 3 months out of the gate, hey, it's time to war, guys. Let's do it up. I need to understand. I need to understand why our commanders are out there just, trying to mold these minds into the thinkings of white supremacists. I need to understand why we allow white supremacists to run this land, to be a steward of this country. This country is held up by stewardship of our Constitution and laws. That Constitution to them is toilet paper. I need to know when we're done talking and chanting and protesting. Now, I know that change doesn't happen unless you raise your voice. Change does not happen until you are affected personally. Change does not happen until you get out of your chair and take to a street. Change doesn't happen until you have a plan that everyone can get on board with of how we want to proceed as a collective, as a national community. Community by the people, for the people, by the people. I just don't know how to wake people up to see the damage, the full spectrum of damage, And I'm at church a couple weeks ago, and pastor says that you can't reveal anything to nobody. It has to be revealed to them. They have to have that revelation on their own. And when it comes to the spiritual way, only God can reveal what God wants to reveal to you. You can't. Nobody can. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can talk facts until you're blue in the face, and you can't. And no one. It has to be up to that person to ingest that knowledge and be enlightened by that knowledge. But y'all, I know I'm just talking to an echo chamber like-minded folks, but I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that I'm reaching people from a different perspective, from a different outlet, from folks that can see that nothing right now is happening to benefit me. I mean, I honestly feel that ever since the podcast, well, remember when like Cash Patel was over on Joe Rogan and he was talking about, yeah, hell yeah, we're gonna release those Epstein files and we're gonna hold everybody accountable who was in those Epstein files, and all the podcasters like, yeah, all the right leaning podcasters, there's, yeah, we're just gonna, we're gonna we're gonna hold them all to account because they all thought that it was gonna be all Democrats. And then I thought to myself, when all that Epstein BS was going on, um, the QAnons, they had it right. They just had it reversed. The guy that they put up on a pedestal to save the world from the pedophiles was the protector. And in fact, um, it shows that a lot of these allegations, they were of him being, uh, you know, being the attacker. So, and now that it's come to light of the reality of those files, I know that some people, that were triple Trumpers, um, once the files, dropped, they left MAGA. I know a couple of Republicans that are now independents. They have woken up. And then there are staunch backers of this man still. And I just don't understand how you literally, how can all this be a lie? How can allegations of children be a lie? All telling the same story. How can it all be a lie? How can all of this proof just be dismissed as a hoax? And remember, he was a Democrat once too. He gave money to Democrats. Everyone that Epstein, he gave money to a lot of Democrats. And Democrat, Republican, let them all get brought on in. I want accountability for all of those women, children, men that were traumatized, harmed, have PTSD, died, murdered, eaten, and them files. And you saw what they're going to do over at that ranch. The new owners, who look scary as hell, mind you, just so they don't let the authorities in to investigate, They're going to dig up, bulldoze, reconstruct that whole place just to protect. None of this is normal. Please don't let it get normalized. We can't just start walk. I know that we have normal everyday shit to do. I know we do. We do. We have families to take care of. We have bills to pay. We have we have time to spend with people. We have friendships that we have to maintain while we compartmentalize this BS and still live and and enjoy the rest of our democracy. But we can't let it be normal. We got to talk about it. We got to deal with it. We got to come up with our plans. We have, you know, we can't let this country go to hell, which is where it's going. We can't let it be, you know, 19, we can't let it be Berlin and, Iron Curtain. We can't let it be, you know, Cold War Russia, where, you know, you couldn't, everything had to be you couldn't talk, you couldn't whisper, you had informants anywhere, everywhere. I remember when it was, gosh, when was it? I think it was like summer 2025. And we have our utility bill that comes out. It's like our gas, it's our gas bill, and it has the city letter in it. And at the bottom of our city letter, it had something new that I've never seen, and it was a informant website to inform on your neighbors. Letters went into the schools to inform on students. It was really scary to see that. Now, that didn't last long. And I think that's when teachers in neighborhoods started talking about rapid response and protecting their students. And that's when people started to kind of segregate themselves from normal everyday society. The Hispanics pretty much stayed to themselves until their neighborhoods got overflowed with ICE, and then the schools started figuring out how to communicate with families to figure out contingency plans of pickups for their children, just in case the parents got picked up by ICE. Workplaces started to come up with a plan of action of what happens if their work got, raided by ICE. And I'm thinking to myself, it's kind of like the Japanese internment. Crazy, right? History repeats itself. Figures, examples, and samples, patterns, and shadows. And you always thought, as an American, that America was the good guys. The bright city on the hill, the example to the rest of the world. And it was the best thing about being an American. Now, I'm an American. I was, born and raised America. And it's like right now it's like a horrible reboot of a movie. It's like everything that you ever learn about your culture is a lie. I want to talk about culture for a second. Remember, how, they say that our culture is being threatened, the American culture. And I'm thinking to myself, America's culture came from other cultures. If you really thought about this, the real American culture, when the settlers came, they totally just eliminated American culture. And when the settlers came, all that they brought was Puritan religion. And if they didn't bring Puritan religion, they brought colonization, greed, just some straight up white folk shit. A lot of the people that came over, they came from penal colonies. They came from prisons. And so America, kind of like Australia, was a weird kind of penal colony. And then when America, the United States, was formed, it didn't have a culture. This is a young country. It's not even 250 years old. And the culture that was brought to America was brought by Black people and brought by Irishmen and who were one step from being a slave anyway. I mean, the only difference is they were white. It was better to be white than be a poor Black slave. Better to be a poor white. Better to be a poor white than be a own Black slave. So from us, you got culture. You got rock and roll from us. They came from the blues. They came from old Negro spirituals. They came from gospel music. You got the traffic light from us. You got GPS from us. You got peanut butter from us. You got cotton gin from us. And yes, Edison did create the light bulb, but we created the filament that went into it to let the light stay on. You got some good dances from us. You got so much from us. You got barbecue from us. Thanks for all that bad meat that you didn't know how to cook to make it edible. You threw it at us. So we made it edible. Not only did we make it edible, we made it delicious. Yeah. And we have the Latinos. You took Cinco de Mayo, tacos. You want Mexican food, but you want to deport the Mexicans. You take all the recipes. You take everything that you like out of a culture. and you take our cultures, like Indian food. I don't like Indian food. I'm kind of I'm allergic to a lot of things, but I don't do spice. But to each his own. But all of these, you love Chinese food, right? That's American culture because the Chinese food we have here is not the Chinese food they have there. They Americanized it for us. Um, the, it's like everything that's good about America, you want to keep, but you don't want to keep the ethnicities behind the good shit that made American culture. It's kind of weird. I don't understand it. I'm sure I have more to talk about, but I don't want to take up too much of y'all's bandwidth. But if you like my thoughts, things I have to say, my rambles, because I can ramble, y'all. I can ramble. I ramble. But like I said, this was just my thoughts. Um, like, subscribe. It keeps my algorithm going. Please drop suggestions on what you want to talk about because I need to know what's on the other side. I can only talk within my own echo chamber. But if there's someone new with some real things that are happening that need to be spoken about, I'd like to know so that we all can get educated upon that from a real voice that's not someone famous or someone who relies on an algorithm to survive, just from a real voice. Yeah. And look, y'all, look, I'm so proud of it. Okay, so see that? There's my greenhouse. It's full. It is full. Yes, I'm so excited with my greenhouse. And I think that it's time to go ahead and clean up this yard this week. And so I can get everything ready because it's going to be cold next week, but the week after, it's going to be great. It's going to be fire outside. And we're going to just go ahead and do some wonderful things out in this garden. And I think that we can do something on self-sustainability. I think it's a good time for a class on that. And yeah, that's all I got. Y'all have a great day. And again, please like, subscribe, drop some suggestions outside of my way of thinking because everyone should be heard. And what make their life better? Things that aren't being done by this administration, things that aren't being done in their neighborhoods, because at this point we are being taxed and not represented. And that's not what we work and pay this government for. We need representation. So let's talk about it, y'all. Until next time, have a great day. Raven out.